Originally marshland, Humboldt Park became the crown jewel of the Park District. After the Great Fire, this unique land started to house a diverse culture as 2 flats and bungalows came in. Ørkenoy, a creative kitchen and brewery, calls Humboldt Park home.
Located right off the 606 bike and pedestrian trail in the Kimball Arts Center, Ørkenoy is the perfect stop along the way to grab shareable apps and a couple of cans of their house-made beer to fuel your creative muscles.
Hey, what's going on? How are you guys? Good. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm Johnny. Welcome to Ørkenoy. Let me go ahead and show you around. This is a Kimball Arts Center that you're actually walking into. It used to be a plastics manufacturing facility and then became like a really cool, fun arts building. We have this awesome kind of industrial meets minimalist, Danish-inspired architecture, design. Lots of nice, fun plants that we got from some local shops.
Sure, I'm feeling this vibe. This is amazing.
Yeah, a lot of natural sunlight too.
Yeah, and then we have our lovely draft tower right there that was actually built by a local metal leather woodworker in the building named John Shaft.
Oh, okay.
So,
Very neat.
So we have all this fun merch. Ørkenoy, because it is kind of loosely based on the idea of a desert island, we have all these fun territories. Every season, we actually have a new territory, and then all the animals on the territory are the beers. So you can see like how we have like all these fun little characters. And so
That's super neat.
Yeah, and it's all named after pets that we had growing up, memories we've had of them, and so it's a nice emotional.
That personal touch, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
You just slowly put like your own personal touches, your own personal lives into Ørkenoy and like the merch and the drinks and stuff like that.
Exactly, yeah. And so that way the experience, not just in here, but when you leave, you kind of you take it with you, you know.
So basically, this is our little kitchen. We manage to get a lot done out of a really small space. We have a bit of a bread program, as you can see, which is really exciting for us to be able to make a lot of our breads in-house. So a lot of the things we serve are really scratch from start to finish, which is really exciting. We do mainly smørrebrød and shareables and kind of snacks and bites and things. We call it, kind of Nordic inspired, is really what we like to say.
This is what we like to call the Cocoon. It's just this nice, fun, little cozy spot. It used to be a loading dock, believe it or not, where people would kind of pull up and, drop off orders. So we still have a shutter door that comes down, and a really great local artist, Blake Jones, did a really fun mural. This door was original to the building, and then, so this is like Underwriter Laboratories. One of our staff, Maddie at the time, she helped us like really get this cleaned up. So it's just
That's amazing.
Keeping the character of the building juxtaposed with this like lovely minimalist design and like all this fun colors and plants. So. Yeah, so that's kind of what the Cocoon is. This is where kind of the beer gets made. We have a lovely sort of 5-barrel system, which is like 155 gallons of beer that can be made per batch, per run. This is the cellar. This is where they kind of sit after the beer is made, where the yeast is turning this awesome sugar water we call wort into alcohol. This one is lovingly named Beyonce. Just
She the key to everything?
She's the key to everything. I'm a big fan. This is where a lot of the lagers kind of get stored and sit here for a while. And a lot of the beers that we make here are very much like farmhouse ales and lagers, and very approachable, like European style. A lot of like, kettle sour, a lot of fruity stuff. It's all about drinkability and lower ABV for us, because especially with the trail, we want people to really like be able to have a couple beers, hang out with friends, and still be on their way. I was really obsessed with like, Nordic and Baltic culture and European culture and design. And I thought like, this is so cool. We're up against this Bloomingdale Trail. It's like the current kind of that goes along this awesome, like almost desert island vibe. It has like a Brooklyn vibe to me. I figured that would be a great platform for the name, which, kind of loosely means desert island in Norwegian. So that's kind of what Ørkenoy came from. But I wanted it to be made up because I wanted people to be like, what is Ørkenoy? How do you say it? It was about sparking a conversation with people that come from all over.
What do you love particularly about Chicago?
I mean, I keep coming back here. I think of my family, I'm like the one person who stayed here the longest.
Okay.
Because I came here when I was 4 years old, so I've been here for like over 30 years. I think I don't know, I've toured all over the country, Canada, I've been to Europe. I just keep coming back to Chicago because it's just such a, I don't know, it's a great, there's East Coast meets West Coast culture here. It's spread out enough, but it's still like this big city, but you have all the surrounding, areas.
Sure.
There's so many cultures and,
Oh, yeah.
so much good food. I mean, the food scene's insane.
And I think that is what really people sleep on Chicago, because they don't realize how authentic and cultural and different the food is here. There's so much variety of food.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's great. That's what drew me in. That's why I've stayed in Humboldt Park for so long, because I really latched on to this idea that's just there's so many there's all this history here, from when there was a lot of Scandinavian cultures that lived around here, and the Puerto Rican cultures that live here. It's just industry and families, and it's just I've never seen anything quite like it. It's just a great mix, a melting pot.
Why did you choose Humboldt Park particularly?
I mean, the park is a central factor, and I think just the neighborhood, everybody here is very adamant about keeping the vibe, keeping the culture here, and not letting it get too gentrified and all that. And I really wanted to latch onto that, because my goal was not to open up a space that was gonna completely change the neighborhood. My goal was to really embrace what was already here. And allow everybody here to come together.
Post-COVID, what is your dream with Ørkenoy?
It's funny you mentioned that, because when we first, were about to open before the pandemic, our vision was just everything open, the windows open, everything up. It was almost like an indoor-outdoor vibe, right? And to have just people kind of just spread all over the place, and just music blasting, everybody having a great time, and people kind of skateboarding by. There's a really famous spot here, for skateboarding, and that was it. It was just kind of like a cool indoor-outdoor thing. With COVID, everything kind of changed, and that was the one thing that we didn't plan for, was outdoor patio seating. People started just buying our food and drinks to go, because we had our cocktails and beers and food to go, and going up on the trail. And it happens that on the entrance here on the Bloomingdale Trail Spalding exit, there's this beautiful, unbelievable, huge hill that you can just spread out in and just watch, the cityscape, watch everything, and you feel safe, and so people were just going up and picnicking up there.
How does Ørkenoy give back to your local community? What's the ties with that?
We've definitely want to continue to work with organizations such as Chefs for Justice, Brave Space Alliance. We've worked a lot with Humboldt Park Solidarity Network, which has been amazing. They're fantastic. We basically donate our space to any organization in Chicago that we feel has a great mission and aligns with our value, to use as they want, as a forum, as a platform for getting their message across.
How have you adjusted to COVID and the pandemic?
Oh wow, yes.
Deep question.
We've had 5 different business models, We've just had to adapt, which is actually kind of, oddly enough, what we're all about, is changing and adapting. So we knew we couldn't keep the limited indoor seating to start, which really sucked, because we created a really great family already, a close family of just all these amazing staff members, and we call them the O Squad. So, it was just okay, we have to go to takeaway now only. So we just did takeaway for a long time, up until recently. And that really helped. Luckily we have a can steamer so people can take their beers and cocktails and food to go. And then now recently, our whole staff is fully vaccinated, and the weather's getting nicer, vaccines are finally getting distributed. We just felt like the community was starting to turn and be ready for more, limited indoor seating again. And so we felt a little more comfortable about reopening again. So now we do offer limited indoor seating, and we do takeaways.
Oh, that's a really good beer.
That's a good cider.
Wow, perfect start.
It's really good. It looks exquisite. The presentation is wonderful.
Okay, what do you want to start out on?
Okay, let's start with the beet hummus.
The beet hummus?
Yes.
Okay, then it's
With the lavash.
lavash chip. Wow.
With that dill
It still
oil.
tastes like hummus
Mm.
with subtle hints of beet.
That is amazing. I love how deep of a fuchsia color that beet hummus is. It pairs very well.
It's a very pretty color, matching their
this
walls
would-
and everything.
Right. I think this particular appetizer would be great to have when you're coming here with friends and just enjoying a beer.
Yeah, it's something light.
Yeah, very light.
It won't fill your stomach, but
Yeah.
it will bring that friend group together.
because all the flavors happening.
Yeah, it's really good. All right, let's move on to the
yeah.
next few dishes.
I'm ready.
So we have our open-faced rolls. And so this is shrimp with paprika on top, and then this is the lamb roast.
Should we start with the shrimp?
Yeah, let's start with the shrimp.
Great.
Yeah. Mmm. Oh. That is so good.
Very flavorful. Bread took me a little bit to chew.
Oh my gosh. It kind of reminds me of like a tuna salad, but shrimp. But oh, so good. I want another.
I'm excited.
It doesn't smell as gamey as you would think it would for lamb. The shrimp one is my favorite.
I like the lamb more.
Really?
100%. This lamb is on point. These dishes are totally complements the vibe that they want to do. We're in the art center. These dishes are very creative, artistic at the same time. Flavors are pushing your limits,
Yes.
which I feel like artists kind of do with your brain. And it just totally goes on with, the community that are trying to pour on us. So
Yeah. And Ryan, the chef, he is displaying his own form of art, just by creating these dishes. And
yeah, Ryan
just the
makes.
display was exquisite.
He's in charge of the food. His beer is amazing. That's what Johnny does. He is the brewery here. They make a great team.
Yep,
Super impressed.
I agree too.
Cheers to
Cheers to
Ørkenoy.
Ørkenoy.